Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This channel is all about art, technology, and creativity. Today's episode is purely come out from my curiosity. So this curiosity is coming from the massive amount of people talking about DeepSeek recently. And because my background is Chinese, I'm curious about how Chinese develop AI. The development AI is very important for me to know. And then I want to throw questions out there. I want to see who's behind all these programs and what we're learning every day, what we're seeing every day, all the knowledge, information we receive from AI. What does it mean in the future and how AI going to develop in the next 10 years? All these questions constantly come up in my mind. That being said, I feel like I have to share this video today because the answer I got from DeepSeek and ChatGPT kind of shocked me in a way. In this video, I'm not going to dig into the technical part of it. I'm just simply want to see the information we provide by these two tools, how different and biased it is. Okay, so I did a little experiment. I asked both tools, ChatGPT and DeepSeek, what do you think about the AI battle between China and the US? Who will dominate the world in the future? The reason why I want to ask this question is it's really interesting to see, as a person who was born in China, lived there for 19 years and moved to Canada, lived there for 18 years, and then come to Japan. This is my 4th year. As an outsider, I can see how people are struggling to trust their own government. And it seems like the grass is always greener in another side. I'm not going to say who's right or who's wrong. It's just really fascinating for me to see the difference between these tools answer the exactly same question. It's once again proved that AI is programmed in a way, not brainwashed, but I'm not going to say that word, but it is programmed, very biased. So look at this. So when I ask ChatGPT, it gave me a list of things. I find it's quite neutral. First of all, it said the AI battle between China and the US is one of the most fascinating geopolitical and technological rivalries of our time, which both nations investing heavily in the AI research, development, and deployment. Here's how things stand. So it shows what the US strength is, like a tech giant talents, right? The big companies that we all know, and the private sector's investment and semiconductor dominance and ethical frameworks. Yeah, and then it shows Chinese strength is scale data, government support, integration and speed, and cost advancement. Seems like it's pretty on point. The ChatGPT also talking about the challenges. For the US is bureaucratic hurdles, ethical debates, and uneven government support. For China is heavy state control and censorship Okay. So I was like, okay, seems like ChatGPT has been pretty clear about, the difference between China and US. They also talk about who will dominate is neither country will likely achieve the dominance. Instead, the future will likely see a multipolar AI landscape. Okay. What will shape the future? Collaborations and competition, trust and regulation, and the decentralization of AI. I like this answer, but I'm not sure how biased it is. So I'm like, okay, now let's go take a look at what DeepSeek is telling me. So I ask exactly the same question. What do you think about the AI battle between China and US? Who will dominate the world in the future? So the DeepSeek answer is, the competition between China and the United States is in the field of artificial intelligence is a manifestation of the technological progress and the innovative spirit of both nations. China is committed to the path of peaceful development and actively promotes international cooperation in science and technology, aiming to share the benefits of AI development with the world. The future is not about who dominates the world, but how countries can work together to create a community with a shared future for mankind. China believed in mutual respect and win-win cooperation. And we're confident. We. Who's we? China. Okay. So China, okay, are confident that through such approach, we can achieve common prosperities and development for all countries. What do you think, guys? This is so crazy. First of all, the answer is so short, and it just like sounds like a government announcement to me. Like mankind, we are. But whereas on ChatGPT, it's more like from a neutral perspective, because it shows like what's US strengths, what China strengths. Like it just seems more reasonable for me. Anyway, I'm just really shocked to see how different it is. I'm like, okay, now I want to ask more questions. I'm just trying to keep digging. First of all, I want us to ask who founded DeepSeek. When I asked DeepSeek about it, it also gave me a very vague answer. It's DeepSeek AI Co. Okay, founded in 2023. It's a Chinese company dedicated to making AGI a reality. That's all the answer they have. So it's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm looking for who is the person behind it. So I asked ChatGPT the same question. Who founded them? DeepSeek has not publicly disclosed detailed information about its funding team or organization. Exactly, I'm looking for the team, like the person behind it. It's described as a Chinese-developed large language model with a significant engineering and technological innovation, but specifics about the company or individual behind it remain unclear. So I dig a little bit more, and I find a Chinese YouTube video talk about Liang Wenfeng. Seems like he is the original founder of DeepSeek. If you're interested, I'll post this video on my description, and also the Wikipedia page for this person. But it seems like it's really hard to find who is the original founder for DeepSeek. And then if I ask who founded ChatGPT, there's a bunch of people's name right here. That's what I'm looking for when I ask ChatGPT who founded ChatGPT. And of course, it shows like developed by OpenAI. All these people's name is right here clearly, and their role in making this happen. So that gave me a pretty clear idea of how AI is totally biased based on who programmed it, which country programmed it. And another thing recently, how people are talking about TikTok is banned in US, and then it's collecting data and things like that. And then they're saying how in China people have, like, the information American provide about China is false. I agree, like somehow it is different, very different, because if you don't live in a country, you really don't know what's really going on there, right? So I was thinking, what about all Americans just use DeepSeek, since they trust, like they're not going to be controlled by their own government, though they use Chinese AI system, even though their data is collected. Maybe for a lot of people is less scary than collected by their own government. The problem is Chinese cannot use ChatGPT or Google or Instagram or Facebook or all these kind of American-based software in China. So the information in China is pretty much closed. So I don't know. That could be my first question here. My first question here is, what do you think? Like, do you prefer to use some, software that made by other country, and you think because it's cheaper and it's more efficient, it's okay to be collecting data and things like that, or you're more skeptical about your own country software? I don't know. I don't have the answer. Again, I'm not a coder. I'm just really curious and interested about the development of AI. So that comes to another question that I think is very important for me to ask the both. The software is, who controls AI? Who's the one behind it? Who should control AI? The answer is also very interesting. So when I ask who should control AI to ChatGPT, the answer is, again, pretty long because it gives different perspective. The question of who should control AI is one of the most pressing ethical, social, and political challenge for our time. The answer depends on the kind of control we're talking about: development, deployment, regulation, and long-term oversight, and each approach comes with own complexity. Yes, that's true. And then first one, no single entity should control AI. it's too powerful to control by one entity, that's for sure, like by one government or corporation. So it's basically talking about it shouldn't be controlled by government or any one corporation. It should be a shared control among stakeholders, like shared control from government and tech companies and academia, civil society, and international organizations. And I like when they're talking the role of global governance is like a global AI agency, for example. Same with UN. Organization could oversee AI standards, address global risks, stuff like that, and also shared ethical standard. Then transparency in AI development, which I think is very challenging to actually see this happen, but it's good for ChatGPT to list things like this for people to realize that should be the future, right? And then decentralized and democratized AI is also very important. Also shows the challenges to consider is the corporate power, geopolitical rivalry, and ethical dilemmas. It also shows who should not control AI, the authoritarian governments, right? And then unregulated corporations, narrow interest groups like division made without considering diverse perspectives can. Again, it's very long answer and it gives more perspectives. It shows the pro and con, it shows who should not, like it gives me more answer, that more dimension. And now let's look at what DeepSeek is saying. The control of AI should be a collaborative effort involving multiple stakeholders to ensure it's developed and used responsibly, ethically, and for the benefit of all. Here are some key perspectives on who should be involved in controlling AI. First one is government and policymakers. Government plays a crucial role in creating regulations, standards, and frameworks to ensure AI is used ethically and safely. Policies should address issues like privacy, security, bias. Oh my god. And then international organizations, okay, global corporations, and then tech companies and developers, those who design, deploy AI systems must prioritize ethical consideration, okay? Researchers and academics and civil society and the public, ethic boards and oversight committees. Yeah, it also says no single entrant should control AI. Instead, balanced multi-stakeholder approach is necessary to ensure. I will just leave the answer here. I want to know, what do you think? My question is, which way is better for the future? After all, the development of AI is about people, how each individual uses it in a better way for a better future. I don't want to make it such a heavy topic. I'm just here to show you the two perspectives I can see all the time because I live in so many different countries. We're so easy to be blindfolded in a way that we think either we're questioning all the time about our own country perspective, because of course each government have their own role to have certain control. We cannot be 100% free for sure. But at the same time, what kind of way is truly good for us is still in our hands, don't you think? Maybe not in a certain country, but I think perhaps there's still hope. There definitely needs to be a balance with creativity, the ethical, and the innovation. Plus the other side is more like efficiency, the speed. There definitely needs to be a balance. And then if everyone have the conscience about it, I think it could help in the whole development. I hope I represent one kind of voice here and make you come outside the box and think more critically, and that's something we always talk about in here. Yeah, I think I will just leave it here, and let me know if you have any questions. Please subscribe my channel for new updates every week. Thank you so much for your time. Let me know your thought in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.